And what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Into the Bengal-Verse podcast. I'm your host, Mario, and today we are going to be giving you an in-depth look of Cincinnati Bengals coming off of a 20-17 road loss to the Chicago Bears. For those of you that are new or returning here, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you can get all the latest updates for your Cincinnati Bengals. So, Bengals came off a 20-17 loss to the Bears, and I have so many mixed feelings about this game. So I record my episodes on my laptop, pretty much where I'm sitting right now, and I just have it much closer, and I'm watching the game. And because I live in Connecticut, I don't really get Bengals games, and I don't have the NFL package or anything. So I pretty much, I'll find a stream, and I'll just sit here and I'll watch. And I always keep a blank face. Even when we were good, and I watch the games by myself, I always keep a blank face. Because even in times when we thought we would win, like the playoffs, just never happened. So victories are all that matters. No matter what, you got to get the dub. And we didn't get the dub. And this was a game that I think a lot of us fans felt entitled that we should win. And I'm not going to lie, I was one of them. And, everyone always has that overreaction Monday. I believe that's what they say. And honestly, this was just one of those cases where the Bears looked sloppy week one. And boy, oh boy, did they hear the news. Oh, Akeem Hicks, Eddie Jackson, Khalil Mack, none of them are the same. Oh, like the Bears defense, they're frauds, they're all washed. Oh, they heard that. And boy, oh boy, did they come to play. And it was just very unfortunate that it had to come against us. It really was. And this game had a lot of implications. If we won, we could have easily been in one game ahead of the rest of the division. Now everyone's 1-1. The division is reset. And because Baltimore beat Kansas City, the Steelers beat the Bills week one. And the Browns, they've beat the Texans and lost to the Chiefs. But even then, I don't know what that is, but I believe we're ranked fourth now, even though we're all tied. But regardless, everyone's 1-1, so that's the good thing. It's not like, the Steelers beat the Raiders, and we're still in this thing, and there's such a long ways to go. But anyways, let's get into this. So this game was interesting because there are many storylines, like the whole Justin Fields thing. Will he start? Will he get a ton more playing time? Will he put Andy on the bench and get into the game and play a ton of the game if Andy struggles? And it's funny because whether people would admit it or not, Andy Dalton was shredding us when he was in. First drive of the game, Andy Dalton shredded our defense and scored in one drive. And a lot of people got a little quiet and frustrated after that because everyone thought, Andy's gonna go 3 and out. They're gonna punt. He's gonna throw a pick. This and that. We're gonna dominate him. Listen, first of all, we'll get into how the defense did because they did tremendous. But that first drive, man, it was ugly. And once again, Eli Apple, the odd man out on that drive, the rotten apple. That's what everyone's saying now. The rotten apple. It's a shame. It really is. So Andy Dalton, he shredded us for the time being that he was in. And then he ended up getting hurt. And then the Justin Fields show came in. But honestly, if that drive never happened, now there's so many ifs. We lost. And we're going to get into it because we deserve to lose this game. Whether you want to hear this or not. Yes, there were so many plays that came down to this close. Whether Trey Hendrickson was this close, it doesn't matter. We turned the ball over so many times. Special teams did bad. The O-line did bad. The running game wasn't there. The play calling was bad. Even though we were so close, we didn't deserve to win. The Bears came to play, and we did not. Simple as that. Okay? There are a few bright spots, but for the most part, this team played bad. So, Andy Dalton pretty much, like I said, shreds us for this first drive. And then after that, he rolls out the pocket, and he looks like freaking Steve Young out there. And he runs out to the sideline, runs out of bounds. And you can see his leg kind of buckle a little bit. And I guess he hyperextended. He has a bone bruise. I believe that's confirmed now that it's a bone bruise. But he thought he could play it off, didn't finish the half, and then he was pretty much done for the game after that. So before that drive, I honestly, when I was looking at this, the whole Zach Taylor's road record, and honestly his only win on the road is against the Texans, and we barely won that game. That game was a shootout, and we only won because of a Sam Hubbard strip sack. But I honestly, I was really confident, and then when I saw, sometimes you just get a vibe, and this was one of those games from the start, I just had a bad feeling. I really did. And when we had the ball on offense, and, we were moving, and then we had a punt, and it was just bad. Like I said, like you just get that vibe sometimes, and this was just one of those games where I just knew that something, whether it's the coaches, whether it's the O-line, something wasn't going to click this game. You just got that sense, honestly, after the first drive of the game, because usually the first drive set the tone for the whole game, whether you're on offense or defense. And I know the defense buckled down, but Shido, on that drive, he could have made a tackle on third down. He didn't get it. There was just so many plays. I know Eli Apple, he had a stupid play where he pushed the receiver out of bounds before he could have even made an attempt to catch it. Like, just don't, man. Like, you do that against the Vikings. When it's 3rd and 24, that's when you got to shove him. But when he has the ball, and then when he didn't have the ball, you shove him out of bounds. I just don't understand. First, I understand he hasn't played like his first round status. But you know what? You got to play like you're worth that pick. You got to show flashes. He hasn't been awful, but these small little plays, they just impact and they have this trickle down effect. And regardless, so we're on offense, and we could not move the ball into Chicago's territory for the damn of us. We couldn't do it. Going to this game, and I noticed this, Zach Taylor saw what happened week 1. He wanted to live off the run game, get the play action going, and be conservative. And then when we saw Burrow hobble a little bit after he got sacked, he just goes back to being conservative. Run the ball more. Small dink and dunks. Well, it's interesting because last year when we were throwing a ton of Burrow versus only throwing 25 or less than 30 times, but around that ballpark, he's still getting hit the same amount. So what's the point of playing conservative if that's what's actually getting your quarterback hurt? And I understand, I really do understand that he's a franchise and you gotta protect him, which you do. Like, our line has given up 9 sacks. The Jets have given up 10. Burrow's already the most sacked, like one of the most. I think Zach Wilson is the highest sacked right now, and I think Burrow's are right next to him. It's inexcusable. It really is. I understand you have to correct the little minute details, but if you're getting paid as an offensive lineman, if you are truly an offensive guru, figure it out. Like, it is seriously, like, that is your job. You're an NFL coach, okay? And Frank Pollock, I love the guy. But get these guys right, man. I know it's week 2, but the quarterback coming off a torn ACL, who is your franchise, who's going to be the reason you're in games this year, and if you're a fan that's saying, we're going to make the playoffs this year, we're going to get 8 to 10 wins. Yeah, I not only got to win games like these, but you cannot let Burrow get teed off like this. You just can't. You can't. It's inexcusable. I understand you want to go with the whole veteran approach, but at some point, I can't believe I'm saying this. Well, actually, I can, because he was a second rounder. Whether it's this week or next week, Jackson Carman's got to play. I'm done of the Xavier Su'a-Filo experiment. I know he was a second round pick back in like 2012 for the Texans, or maybe like 2013, 14. I don't know. Don't care, honestly. Because him right now, all due respect, Xavier. I respect you. You're a Bengal. I cheer for you. But right now, I need you to be the sixth man. If someone gets hurt, I need you to go in. I need you to be that role that you always were. Right now, it is time for Deontay Smith or Jackson Carman to start playing right guard. because that's where we're getting killed. It's on the interior. And yeah, Jonah Williams and Riley Reef had their hands full with Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks. Wait till we play Pittsburgh. For people that are confident, you think yesterday was ugly? And I'm recording this on a Monday. You think yesterday was ugly? Wait till we play Pittsburgh. Oh, and they're pissed. They just lost in Heinz Field to the Raiders. Oh, just you wait. Zach Taylor, you got another thing coming. We got to get right for this game. Seriously. 1-1 versus 1-1 matchup. And yeah, TJ's questionable. I think he'll play. I think Bush will play. And I think Hayden will play. We're going against a defense that's way harder than them. And yeah, we beat them, this and that. Doesn't matter. The Steelers always find ways to win games. We only beat them once. That doesn't give us any right to gloat and cheer. And we beat them when they were in a really bad, weird stretch where they just kept losing and Big Ben fatigued out and the run game was just still not there, which it still isn't, by the way, which we can preview that and get into that. But still, you struggle against a team like this when your offense is supposed to be the reason you're winning games. And their defense played well enough in years. Last week and this week. They played well enough than we have ever seen in such a long time, and I think we as fans are taking this for granted, how well this defense is playing. They played well enough for where we should have won that game. If you really think about it, they only gave up 7 points. Burrow threw a pick six, that's 14, and they hit 2 field goals. And that was after Burrow threw 2 picks in our own within our own 30-yard line, so they had 30 yards to work with, and we still held them. Do you know how hard that is as a defense? Do you know how impressive that is? Okay? There should be no excuse. Midway through the season and on, I understand it's the beginning. I understand it. But if you have all this time to prepare, the coaching staff once again double down. They double down. and they say, this offensive line will be good enough. We'll protect Joe. Jamar was the right pick. Okay? I wanted Jamar. I would have been happy with Panay. I wanted Jamar. He was the right pick. I'm not saying you should have taken Panay. But if you take Jackson Carmen, you take Deontay Smith. I don't care. I love Quentin Spain. I love Trey Hopkins. Like I said, I respect Xavier Su'a-Filo. But you know what? If the coaches know something we don't, you got to put in the right people at the end of the day. This cannot continue to happen. Trey Hopkins can be a great guy, but let's say he lets up 2 sacks next week and he went from I believe a 50-something or 30-something PFF grade. This week he was the weak link last week. And then get this, he was our best graded offensive lineman with the 72, and everyone else around him stunk with a PFF grade. Jonah Williams went from having like an 84 to a 54, I believe it was. I have it right here. Trey Hopkins 72. Quentin Spain 58. Riley Reef 54. Jonah Williams 52. Xavier Su'a-Filo 44. Now, those do not define those players because especially players like Quentin, Reef, and Williams, that's inexcusable, and I think they'll learn from this, and they will get better from this. But if this continues with some of these older guys, you got to put the young guys in, the young and hungry guys, and possibly more physically gifted. You just have to at some point. Something's got to give. I cannot stand to watch Burrow drop back, whether it's an empty, whatever the case is. And he's not even throwing that much. Like I said, he's getting hit just as much, throwing less off play action, or whatever the case may be this year, than last year. And he was throwing 50-plus times a game. And it's even crazier. And people just don't understand this, and they took Giovanni Bernard for granted, and they always want to know, why won't Mixon play out third down? You're seeing it now. We are paying the man $12 million a year, and I love Mixon. We're paying him $12 million a year, and he's still, I know it's 2 games. Everyone's saying it's correctable. This needs to be corrected now. You got to know this before going into the season. I understand players will have their lapses, and you got to get into the flow, and then the first few weeks. But Mixon, you're paying him $12 million a year. The man needs to know how to block, and he needs to know what he's doing in pass protection. It makes so much sense now as to why they put Gio in over him. It makes so much sense. He had a 20 PFF grade in pass blocking. Mixon, he's a big dude. Like, what are we doing? It's very frustrating to watch. Very frustrating to watch as a fan, knowing that the offense is supposed to be the reason you're winning games, and so far in 2 weeks, and I'm not saying it's necessarily the players themselves, because play calling and coaching goes a ton into this. It's honestly the main thing behind this, if you ask me. And whether Jamar or Joe, whoever is right, or the coaches are right in terms of they threw the deep ball more than people realized, which I think they did to an extent. Because I think at that point when the Bears they kept reading the dink and dunks and they just knew. It was very frustrating on offense. Knowing that you hired an offensive coach going into his third year, who you gave a chance going into his third year, who was saying we are going to be... Listen, we should be putting up 21 points a game plus. Like, if you want to be a top 10 offense, you have Burrow, Higgins, Chase, Boyd, Mixon, and you want to be top 10, which you should, figure it the hell out now. Because this can set the tone for the rest of the season, and it's just very aggravating as a fan, and knowing what this team can be capable of, and knowing that the little things that plagued us every year since we've had Taylor, or since the decline of Marvin Lewis since 2015, it was just those little things, the little plays, the easily corrected things. Championship teams and great teams don't make those mistakes. When you get a strip sack, a great team, they will scoop that ball up from Justin Fields, and they will take it to the house. Now, I love Logan Wilson. He had a great game. We're going to get into that. But it's just those little things. It's very frustrating. Because, like I said, if you want to be that team that wins 8 to 10, you want to get 8 to 10 wins, I think they're going to get more than 6.5. I know they're easily more than capable of getting more than 6.5. But that's a game you got to win. Very, very frustrating. It is. And this whole Zach Taylor on the road thing, it just keeps getting worse. If you look at it in a retrospect, a season's worth of games on the road for Zach Taylor, he's 1-15-1. What great head coach do you know has that kind of record? Okay? And I understand that he's been having to build it, and you can't just win with a crappy team and roster. But come on, Zach. Come on. And I root for Zach. I root for Callahan. I root for everyone. It's just so frustrating to watch. Excuse me. And anyways, we're going to get into the defensive side of things, because that's honestly the bright spot that I want to talk about, because the offense just frustrated me so much yesterday. We had 4 straight turnovers. T. Higgins had a beautiful catch, and then he fumbled it. And then Burrow, he threw that, I believe the first pick was to Jalen Johnson when T. Higgins ran that. Or no, the first pick was a pick 6, which honestly, great play by Roquan. But honestly, I put that on the coaches, because they kept putting Burrow in those dink and dunks, pre-snap reads. You know where you're going as soon as you snap the ball. Those don't work. Defenses catch on. They will catch on one way or another. So that was frustrating. Hats off to Roquan. Then the next play, oh yeah, let's just do it again. But let's go to T. Higgins on the boundary. They pick it off. Second pick. Defense holds him to a field goal. Then we get the ball again. And then Burrow just gets clobbered. Tries to make a play. What are you going to do? It was very frustrating. He'll learn from it. The team will learn from it. But that was so frustrating, man. It really was. But yeah, let's get into the defensive side of things. So other than the first drive, man, this defense hunkered down. Once again, my guy Larry Ogunjobi made a beautiful tackle in the backfield. I don't know why PFF is sliding him. I really don't, because he's been making an impact. To be honest, people might not want to admit this, but when it comes to pass rushing downs, yeah, he had a sack or 2 last week. But even then, there's plays where I feel like sometimes they'll keep him in a lot longer than they should. It's just how it looks. And him and Reeder kind of struggle to get pressure up the middle at times. Now, the Bengals last year had 13 total sacks. Right now, they're at 7. I believe they're top 7 in the league in sacks right now, which is nuts. Their run defense is looking great. Do I have it here? Oh, no, I don't. It's a shame. But regardless, Logan Wilson, 84 PFF grade. BJ Hill, 83. Tupou, 80. DJ Reader, 78. Akeem Davis-Gaither, who we're going to get into later. We're going to talk about that later. 76.9 PFF grade off 16 snaps. Mike Hilton, 73. The defense was balling. And listen to this. Logan Wilson NFL ranks this season minimum 100 snaps. PFF grade 79.6, which is 5th amongst all linebackers. Coverage grade 83.2, which is 3rd. Passer rate allowed 50, which is 3rd. Or passer rule, maybe that's a typo here. Yards per catch 6.3 for 6th. Missed tackle 0, tied for 1st. He's taking a leap. And ADG, Akeem Davis-Gaither, is also taking a leap. And he needs to play more. With Ricardo Allen out, he needs to play more. I love Pratt. But, man, you got to get Akeem in there. He can move. He's fast. He was making plays all over the field yesterday with his limited time. So, shout out to the defense. They were stopping the run. We have now held 2 of some of the best running backs in the NFL in back-to-back games to less than 70 rushing yards total and less than 100 yards from scrimmage total. That is impressive. Because we, for the past 3 to 4 years, have had one of the most notorious, worst, total defense, but rushing defense, especially in this entire league. And people have gashed it and just absolutely pounded it down our defense and just instilled their will. And this year looks to be different. It's looking good so far. So hats off to the defense. Hats off to Logan Wilson, even though you got to make that fumble recovery, man, even if you just fall on it. But I just want to say this. I know it's been 2 games, but you have Jesse Bates going into a contract year. And other than the first game, yeah, he was laying the wood. He was, boofing some people. But in 2 games so far, even Chicago, I know it's still early, but sometimes early in the season, whether you believe it or not, it can actually set the tone or pave the trajectory as to how your team's going to look or how certain players are going to look. Yeah, even if I know it's only 2 games, but you'd be surprised. So I want to be optimistic. I don't want to worry. I don't know, because not necessarily people have been gashing or talking about Jesse Bates, but he was getting picked on a little bit yesterday. Allen Robinson it was Mooney. Mooney was all over the field making catches. But Jesse, he was targeted a couple times by Andy. Andy looked him off a couple times, he looked him off in the red zone and dotted Allen Robinson for a touchdown with Cheeto in coverage. And it was good coverage, just an even better throw and catch. But, Jesse Bates, man, where are you? Where are you, man? I need you to make that play. You're the best safety in the league. Show him. Show him, especially if we play Pittsburgh, and you should have had a pick 6 last year in Pittsburgh. You should have had it. You should have had a pick 6. I'll never forget, he read a play perfectly. Should have had a pick 6 and dropped it. And so far, he hasn't really had an opportunity. Maybe that's why he's so great, because he's not really being targeted a ton. But I saw him get picked on a couple times yesterday. And I haven't really seen him in a position to make a play on the ball yet. So hopefully that changes. Hopefully we can get some turnovers on Pittsburgh, because like I said, this defense has been playing really well. Compared to how they've played in the past, really, really marked improvement so far. And they're playing with passion and heart, and that's all you can ask for. So, like I said, this game is frustrating. But you know what? Here's the bright side. Pittsburgh has been struggling. And honestly, looking at how they haven't really been using Najee or running the ball that much, they have some questionable injuries right now. Deontay's questionable, Deontay Johnson. TJ's questionable. I think he'll probably play, but they'd probably be smart to hold him off just so he could play the rest of the season. Devin Bush and Joe Hayden, they were game time decisions, I believe, and then they were just held out, so they'll probably play if you ask me. But you have a game this week against Pittsburgh. It's Steelers week, folks. Wake up. Because we are going to have to be dealing with smoke from Steelers fans. I have friends who are Steelers fans all week. Wake up. It's time we match their energy. We cannot be the ones that are always making excuses and sobbing for ourselves. It's only week 2, folks. It's only week 2. Yes, yesterday was frustrating. But that happens. You think Bucs fans were... I bet you most were super, super distraught when the Saints absolutely wrecked them last year. I think they only held them to 3 points or something like that, like midway through the season. Don't worry. adjustments will be made. I know they will. They have to be made. So, you're playing Pittsburgh. Team's looking motivated. They know they could have won. And this end of the game was crazy, by the way. I haven't even gotten into that. So, after all those picks happen, Joe's just like, why not? After we, I believe we sacked. Did we get a fumble recovery? No. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it. Yeah. So after we made a stop, moved the ball a little bit, and then Joe's like, why not? Just throws deep to Jamar. Jamar absolutely embarrasses the two defenders. Gets in the end zone. We're like, okay, cool. Then they get the ball. And then all of a sudden, right after that, so Joe throws 3 straight picks. So 3 passes, 3 picks. And then Joe's just like, oh, why not? Let me just throw to Jamar. That's his very next pass. Touchdown. Okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, we're on defense. Justin Fields drops back. Logan Wilson looks like he's going to blitz. Drops back. User read. User pick, baby. Takes it to about the 12 or the 10. And then Joe, next pass, touchdown. So 3 straight passes, 2 straight touchdowns. I've never seen anything like that. Where 3 straight plays leads to either a touchdown. Or 5 straight plays leads to either a pick or a touchdown. So pick, touchdown off 5 passes. That is nuts. I've never seen anything like that. That's an anomaly, honestly. We'll probably never see that again. Or at least for a super, super long time. And Joe probably won't be the one to do it. So that was just nuts. This game, like I said, this game was just weird yesterday, folks. It was weird. So then we're on defense. And all we need was one more stop. We hold the Bears to 3rd and 9. And Trey Hendrickson this close. You can look at the picture. He's wrapping around Justin Fields, and he just gets out of his grip. And you know what? For the fans that are saying, Trey Hendrickson, oh, I wish we got the ball back. I know we did. But you know what? We had no right to even be in that position. We deserve to lose that game in every way possible. We deserve to lose. And yeah, it was fun towards the end. I mean, hell yeah, I would have loved to see what would have happened if we got that sack and we get the ball back. I think we could have forced overtime, but sometimes there's only so much amount of time in a football game, and you just can't wait that long to start moving the ball on offense or doing well. There's only so much time. So, Bengals lose. We lose to Justin Fields, and I even said in my last video, I hope he doesn't play. And yes, he struggled, but he did enough to hold us off. And our offense pretty much gave away points once again, just like them giving away a touchdown last week when we went for an own 30. I don't even know what's going on with that. Like, the offense is supposed to be the reason you're winning games. They almost cost us the first game, and they almost cost us this game. What is going on, Zach? What is going on? So, this week, hopefully Trey Waynes returns. He's going to be practicing this week. They're going to get a feel. I really hope he does. I don't want to see Eli Apple anymore. I would love to see him as a 4th corner, as a guy that subs in if someone gets nicked or is tired. But I would love to see Waynes in. He's going to make this defense even better than it already is, if you ask me. And I probably accepted the fact that Cheeto is our best corner, Cheeto Bewuzie. And Trey Waynes will probably be the number 2, even though he is grossly overpaid. And all I know is next year, all I know for sure is you need a corner. We're going to need corners. We're going to need more depth at edge. Regardless of who you like or don't like on edge, we're probably going to need edge depth. And we're probably going to need more O-line help depending on what happens there. That's probably the 3 biggest needs, if you ask me as of right now. And honestly, if you want to even say tight end, get like a even better tight end than CJ. I mean, why not? Even though we don't even use tight end like that. So, Trey Waynes, hopefully he returns, bolsters this defense, helps out this team. That's what we're paying him to do. And guys, listen. It's not the end of the world. It's just week 2. It was frustrating to me, just like I'm sure it was to you. And we can make all the excuses in the world, but you know what? We lost. What are you going to do? We got to move on. We got to enjoy our week. Take it one day at a time and look forward to Sundays. Because you know what? There's brighter days ahead for this team in general. Whether they get 6, 7, 8, no matter what, you can't do worse than you do last year unless Burrow gets hurt and the team just looks like a freaking wreck. Knock on wood. But you know what? This team's still better than it was last year by a wild margin. Like I said, they're already I believe they need 6 more sacks just to tie what they had total last year. That is absolutely absurd. Like I said, revamped defense. It's not the end of the world. We'll be okay. We're gonna make it through. Hopefully, we get some conversations going. You guys, the more and more fans I get, subscribers, people that follow me and like the content I'm putting out, we can get conversations going. I can start doing mailbags, and I can start taking questions, and we could start having great conversations off your thoughts combined with my thoughts. Like I said, Steelers week, 1-1 matchup. We're going to be covering it later this week. Yes, there's cause for concern, but there's also reason for optimism because we played that bad and we were still in that game. So, and we know that was nowhere near close to how well this team could truly play if we're truly firing on all cylinders. I mean, I know we are not contenders like the Bucs. Look at what they did. Hopefully one day we are playing just as well as a team like that. That is the goal. Anyways, that's going to do it for the Into the Bengal-Verse podcast. That was the recap of the Bears-Bengals. Like I said, it was a tough game, tough loss, but we got to take that one on the chin. We're going to get better from this. Team's going to get better from this. Joe's going to lead these guys. Hopefully Zach leads these guys and he makes the corrections if he truly is a player's coach and wants to hear what they thought. If he truly knows what's best for this team, he'll put the right players in. He'll make the right decisions, make the right calls. Hopefully, we got to stay optimistic. It's only week 2. Everyone's tied in the division. It's anyone's game. Shout out to the Ravens yesterday, though. I know we didn't want them to win, but you got to give respect to Lamar. And for some of you that say you don't like Lamar, I bet you some of you were the same people that also said you wanted Lamar. So don't hate on Lamar. Only give him hate. We don't hate anybody, but only give him crap if we're playing against them. But like I said, that's gonna do it. Everyone have a nice week. I should be giving Steelers Bengals preview at some point this week. Probably be Wednesday or Thursday. But like I said, everyone stay optimistic. We're going to be fine. So have a good one.